Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. Today I'm going to be doing some repotting. I have not been feeling the best. You know, things always go through my house. There's so many of us here, and so mommy has to take care of everyone. And so I usually end up going down. But I have some things that I need to repot or zhuzh up a little bit, and so I just decided to sit down here and do that with you. And I do appreciate you guys coming and keeping me company through this because some of these things I've been putting off for a really long time. I have this top cut of my Thai constellation. Is this a Thai con? Yes, this is a top cut of my Thai constellation that was in my cabinet when it fell. I mentioned to you guys before that I decided I was going to, I cut the top portions of my elbow, my Monstera elbow, and my Thai constellation just for a little insurance. And this one right here, it does, hopefully this is coming through. I think it is. You can see there are a lot of roots in here. And I thought that that was fine, but then I'm also seeing roots coming through at the top. And so it was droopy yesterday. And so I just decided I would look in here to see exactly what's going on. And then I have this Anthurium Rad Lux that I have to remove some of the treatment that I put on. I went a little ham on this one because it has so many ridges. But it's been on there long enough. I'm going to remove some of that, and I need to top it off with some of the moss that I have, because you can see that this is a little bit wavy, and I don't like for it to be wavy, and the plant doesn't like it either. And then I have this basket of things that I need to pay attention to, and I'm actually going to start with this one right here because this alocasia ninja, this is, I love this plant so much, but you'll see that this leaf right here is looking a little bit bad. And if you can just hear this is so dry, but I only watered this 2 days ago. But because it is living in perlite, it dries out quickly. And if you look, there are so many roots in here. They kind of mesh in with the perlite, but there are a ton of roots in here. So I'm going to start with this one. And I think I'm trying to see which one of my pots I'll use for this. I don't want to put it into anything too big. I just thought about it. Maybe I'll use this one. I think this will be the perfect upsize for this, and it will have plenty of airflow. And I know it will have plenty of airflow too, because I'm going to be potting it up with some chunky perlite. And this is my container with the chunky perlite. I actually have the chunky perlite mixed in with the smaller pieces of perlite, because the chunky perlite seems to be a little bit too chunky to grow the plants in. And I do grow my my alocasia that I have in perlite. I like to keep them in perlite. So this should be pretty easy to come out. Oh yeah, there you go. It's not too bad, but it's just drying out so quickly, and it will definitely be the perfect fit for this. I'm not going to mess with my root ball over here. I'm just going to take some of these dead roots that dried out on the top, just take them down. And outside of that, I'm not going to touch it because I don't want any problems. She has been growing really nicely. I should have put a little bit of the perlite underneath. There it is. Okay. So this will be a really easy repot. And as I water these in, I'm sure it will fill in, and hopefully this right here will pop up a little bit. This thing has been drying out very quickly for almost 3 weeks now. And I keep saying, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And because it has this new leaf coming in, the leaf is even coming in pretty small because it just needed to be paid attention to. But now she's all set, just that quickly. So why did it take me so long to do it, right? So sad. Okay, let me just clean up this little mess here. And I wish I could angle you down, but I can't, only because I do not know what I did with the attachment to my ring light. So I just had to switch out my camera. I'm having a little bit of problems with my Canon. For some reason, it's not syncing with my program. And so, yes, you know how those things go. I think my next one, no, I'm going to put my Tycon into this right here. And I'm going to put the Tycon, it's in my aquatic stones right now. That's how I rooted it, but I'm going to switch it over. And I'm going to be using perlite and cocoa husks. I really do like cocoa husks for my Monstera, simply because the Monstera really like to have something to grip on. They like to have something to grip onto. Okay, now we have to get this out of here. I think my husband just got home. There you go. Oh my goodness, this is great. Look at these roots. Oh my goodness, I love Monstera roots. Monstera roots are fabulous. Now I am going to use these stones in the mixture as well. So I will just actually put some of the chunks right in here, and that'll be good for them. Let me put this over. Let me put a little bit of the chunks at the bottom, and then just fill it in. I want to take this thing right here off, but that has a root on it. That little thing there, it has a root on it, so I kind of don't want to disturb it. Oh well. So I'm just taking a little bit of the cocoa husks, mixing it in here. Oh my goodness. Monstera roots make me so happy. It's amazing because I have my kittens that are living with our dogs, and one of them acts just like a dog. The biggest one, his name is Mumbo. He acts just like a dog. It is the cutest thing, and he wants to play with Maxie and Marshy the way he plays with his cat brothers. And Marshy is an older dog, so he's really not all that into playing and roughhousing. If Marshmallow could just sit on my lap all day long, he would. So there you have it. Another one done. It's funny, you hold off from doing planty chores sometimes, and then when you finally do it, it's like, what took me so long to do this? And I definitely want to have a nice airy mixture for my Monstera, because they like the grit that they like to hold on to, but they certainly want to have air on their roots. So this will be perfect. And then because these cocoa husks they're moist, I'm not going to water this now because this doesn't need to be watered at all. I do need to wipe down her leaves because she has some of the diatomaceous earth on her leaves. And so I'll give her a little wipe down. So I'll just give her a wipe down. she'll still be loaded because the spray that I'm using, this is my mixture that I shared with you guys before. It's running low, but it does still have diatomaceous earth in it. I like to use the diatomaceous earth when it's wet. Which, by the way, if you found one of the Thai constellations in, this is not one of them, but if you found one of the Thai constellations in Big Y, a lot of people have been saying that they found thrips on their plants. And I did purchase one from Big Y, and I had it separated, and I thought I saw a thrip on there. So I think that what they're saying is true. When I got mine, what I did was I put the diatomaceous earth on it wet. You know, the way I made that paste. And so when I was examining it, I know I can be a little extreme when it comes to pests, but I have a lot of plants. But I swear I saw a dead thrip on there. So if you did get one, just check it and keep checking it just to be sure, because there are people from different states saying that they're seeing that. And there's really no harm. Not to say that thrips are not harmful, as much as you have to expect that when you buy plants, there's a chance that there could be pests that the sellers just didn't see. And that's why we're always encouraged to be careful when we bring new plants into our spaces. Okay, next I'm going to go to this beauty. This is my luxurians, my radicans luxurians hybrid, and I am going to spray her down to get some of this diatomaceous earth off of her. I don't want to take it all off. I want it to stay in the grooves, but I don't want it to stop the plant from absorbing light. Now, this plant right here lives on my plant shelf in here in my bedroom, and I do not have it in my cabinet with my other Radlux because I want to use this one in particular as a trade, which is why I keep it so heavily guarded with the treatment, because I don't want anything to get to her. I just want to use it as a trade, and I think it's easier to use a plant that is acclimated to ambient conditions in a trade. You don't have to worry about it going to someone and then it's used to being a cabinet and they don't have a cabinet. And then this plant in particular is something that a lot of Anthurium collectors, they already have it. So usually this is something that someone who is not necessarily a big Anthurium collector or have a lot of Anthurium with cabinets and everything like that, they're usually drawn to this one because it's such a great first time Anthurium purchase. It's just an easy plant. So the ones I have in ambient condition don't grow as quickly as the ones that I have in my cabinet, but they grow just fine. So hopefully I'll be able to find a trader for this plant right here. Look at her. Look how gorgeous she is. She is so pretty. And she has a new leaf that she's working on. So now and I already watered her, so I know she's fine. I think I actually might dump some of her water out. I let the water sit in her reservoir for about an hour because it takes a little while for the cocoa chips to absorb everything that it needs for the plant, and then I just dump the rest out. And so now I'm just going to take some moss and I'm going to put it around the top part of the plant. And I do have a little bit of the smaller perlite mixed in with this moss. I have learned that that makes it a lot easier to remove the moss from roots if it has a little bit of grit in it. You know, it's so funny because my Locks, My Plants, if you here on YouTube, she has a channel and she has so many beautiful Anthurium. I think that I always watch Anthurium videos and I'm just like, wow, those Anthurium are beautiful. But I think it's her collection that makes my heart beat. I'm telling you, they just make my heart beat. She grows them so beautifully, so big. I just love them. Look at this. Oh. It's going to be hard for me to let go of this one because this was a little tiny baby growing on the side of my mama plant. And now look at her. I love her. But maybe I'll be able to trade for a new baby. And I think what I love about trading for plants is it means that you let go of one of your plants, not because you don't love it, but because you're going to just find a new home for one of your plants, and then you end up bringing in another one, but you're not just continuing to pile up more and more and more plants. And so I really like that. So here are some cuttings. My husband and I just celebrated an anniversary, and we had a dinner, and these were the party favors. Look at this. It's just in a little glass. Look at that. Everyone was so happy to get the plants to bring home. I was so happy. I said, maybe I'll bring in some more plant addicts. So fresh. Anyway, I am going to put this into cocoa husks. And I did mention I have the cocoa husk mixed with chunky perlite. And these are takeout containers that I buy, and then I just punch holes in them. But for this right here, I wouldn't put in too many holes, only because I need for the cocoa chunks to take a little bit of time to absorb the moisture. But I'm gonna have a no drainage underneath it. It's the wonderful thing about doing these DIY clear pots. You can literally adjust it to whatever you need. I should have taken those out one by one because I just snapped off some of the roots. But the roots are pretty good. I think they're ready to be potted. I'm going to put everything into one pot, and I'm going to use this water that it was used to. So I have one more in this container. And I'm going to put them all into one to make one nice, juicy pot of golden pothos. I love golden pothos. Look at those beautiful roots. This is just one, and it has 2 roots on it. It's so pretty. Oh, I just noticed that there's an Adansonii in here. You know, this is the worst place for me to do a repot because I'm always looking out at my neighbors. We have new neighbors. Our newest neighbors, there was 2 families that moved. One of them, they had a change in family situation, which hurt us all. And the other family moved away. They sold their home, and they planned on staying even after they sold it because they sold it to a company, and it just didn't turn out to be the best thing for their family, so they left. So we ended up with 2 new neighbors at one time, and that's a lot of change. And it's been challenging because for the most part, there are not that many families on our street, but for the most part, we have retired families, like just husband and wife, retired. The couple over there, they're maybe working beyond their retirement, but they're there. And then we have across the street, my neighbor I tell you about all the time. He is 87, and so, you know, just quiet. But then right next to them, we got some neighbors. They have young children. Right here, we have a family with children, and then across from us, we have a family with children. They have young children across the street. She has a baby who looks like he's maybe about 2, and they're really sweet. They have 2 dogs, and one of them looks just like my Marshy. He looks exactly like my Marshy, but he's not a Maltese. He's a different type of dog, but he looks a lot like my Marshy. Okay, that is cuteness. That is so cute. And again, oh wait, no. I was just gonna say I wouldn't water this in because the mixture is moist, but these were water propagated, so I'm going to give it some water. And then if it doesn't absorb into it, I will just dump it out after a while, but I'll give it the water that it was sitting in all along. I won't give too many of them though. But here's another one. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 plants that I've worked on. I have one more. Where is it? Okay, this is the last one. This one right here was suffering from root rot and I didn't even realize it. And so this is an alocasia Maui gold. And what is this? Okay, it's just looks like it has some damage. I thought it was something on it. I have it in chunky perlite and small perlite, but it's just not taking in enough. And so I've decided to put it into its own little cloche. Now this does have holes at the bottom. This is a container I purchased from the Dollar Tree. It had cotton swabs in it. Sometimes when my children do drawings and they want to shade things, they use the cotton swabs just to, shade in. And so I used to buy these right here for them to keep on their desks. And so I ended up taking this one to put this plant in. So I am going to put the perlite at the bottom, just like that. But I think above it, I'm going to put the cocoa. Oh, no. Do you know what I'll do? I'll use the moss. That's what will be good for it. I'll put some moss on top of it. And then I will just put this in here. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll give it the burst of moisture it needs to grow some new roots. I bought this moss and it seems like there's just stuff in it. Not to mention the fact that the container is much smaller. And normally I have not been buying moss, but I desperately needed some for some, like the things that I'm doing right now. They've gone without being done because I just didn't have the supplies. And I've been trying not to buy moss. Okay, that looks like it's a little too high. Just need for it to sink a little bit down. It has to fit. Okay. All right, that's perfect. And I will just sit this right here on my desk and let it just get adjusted. I don't want to lose it. I have another one. I actually have 2 more of those, but I love that plant, so I don't want anything to happen to it. I thought I had, I don't know why I put that bag all the way over there. Can you tell I have kittens? Look at this. I thought I may need to stake up something that I was doing, but nothing needed to be staked. Let me look at this one. Let me see if maybe this one right here wouldn't mind a little stake, a little extra stability. Here's another roll. Look at it. Put this one. This one's broken. I guess I can put the 2 of them in there. Doesn't really need it right now. But I've never heard of a Monstera saying no stability, please. I just realized that this right here is not an extra leaf, that's a root. It's an aerial root. Oh, get well soon, Rachel. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, and so I want to cover that. Just going to put some moss over it. And I'm just going to take a little bit of painter's tape and put these 2 together so that they act as one. Okay. Okay, so there's my Tycon, my Alocasia Ninja that already feels better, my beautiful golden pothos and marble queen and Adansonii mixture, my Radlux, my tradable. And that was what I did, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, not sure. And this one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different plants that I was able to up hot, zhuzh up, clean. Oh, I'm so happy I finally got this done. This has been too long in the making, and it was so much fun to do. So why did I wait? The question of the day. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm sorry I'm such a scatterbrain when I am not feeling well, but I really wanted to share this with you. And I have a video coming out that I've already recorded where you are going to see some of these plants before they've been repotted. But this is the repot that I'll be talking about in that video. And I will talk to you again soon. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, guys. Oh, you big girl now? Are you a big girl now?